Namibia, land of the great freedom fight, we have won. Glory to their bravery, whose blood washes our freedom. We give our love and loyalty, together in unity. Contrasting beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country. Belong and land of Savannah, all under the banner of liberty. Namibia, our country. Namibia, motherland, we love thee. Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the star, let us make Africa the tree of life.
Thank you very much. Now we take our seats. Program, we have a message of support from the World Peace Council by Mr. Heracles.
Good morning, comrades and friends, distinguished and respected President of Namibia. It is our pleasure and honor to be in the opening to have you here with us. Distinguished members of the SWAPO Party Youth League and National Youth Council, and of course, dear comrades of the WUFDI leadership, dear comrade Sergio, dear comrade Suniel, Adnan, and all the other vice presidents. It is with extraordinary pleasure to salute your 21st Assembly today in Windhoek. On behalf of the World Peace Council, the International Anti-Imperialist Organization of Peace Movements, our special greetings go first of all to the members and friends of the SWAPO Party Youth League, who performed a great and special role all these years in the WUFDI leadership, and today are hosting in an excellent way this assembly. We salute all members of the collective WUFDI leadership and in the respective countries who continue the legacy of WUFDI for almost 80 years. The fraternal bonds between our two international organizations are decades long and deeply rooted in the common comprehensive analysis and understanding for the root causes of the wars, misery and exploitation in the world, for the injustice and underdevelopment in this world. And this is no other than imperialism as international system, its alliances and mechanisms. Both our international organizations passed difficulties in the beginning of the 90s, where friends and enemies thought that we would not make it because of the counter-revolutionary changes in the USSR and the socialist countries of Eastern Europe. Life has proved for WUFDI that the need for its existence and contribution to the youth and students movement in the world was a demand from millions of young people and their revolutionary progressive anti-imperialist youth organizations gathered in WUFDI. And the World Peace Council is glad and congratulates WUFDI for this success. Personally, having had the privilege to know quite well the recent history of WUFDI, and having attended all the WUFDI assemblies since 1995, which is 30 years now, I wish to express also my personal congratulations to WUFDI and my best wishes to maintain and develop a strong WUFDI based on its traditions, legacies, and principles. Dear comrades, our host today, the glorious SWAPO and its youth league, has fought for decades a noble and honorable fight for its liberation and dignity against powerful enemies and against apartheid. In the liberation movement, together with comrades, brothers and sisters from South Africa, Angola, Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and many others, with the selfless internationalist active support of Cuba and the support of the Soviet Union. Without underestimating other glorious battles and fights during this history, I want to stress here the historical and victorious Battle of Cuito Canavale, a legendary battle which ended in March 1988 and opened the way for the independence of the countries of South Africa, including Namibia, and glory to all the heroes and martyrs. Dear comrades of WUFDI, I had prepared a speech actually for the assembly, and I'm not going to elaborate now the rest of my speech, since this is the opening ceremony to which I was given the honor to have greetings in front of all the distinguished diplomatic corps, brothers and sisters, ambassadors of very known countries in solidarity with the African cause, above all, allow me to say, Cuba. So I'm not going to present the rest of my speech regarding the Middle East, regarding Ukraine, regarding Venezuela, regarding Cuba, regarding all the other burning issues in the world. And with the permission of the leadership, I will have the rest of my speech in the assembly amongst friends, comrades, and brothers. Thank you very much. Success to the assembly. Thank you for your attention.
SWAPO Party is the Vice President of WUFDI, responsible for Africa region. I just want to, if we have those comrades of those members of SWAPO Party Youth League who have started that journey to the Vice Presidency of SWAPO Party, if they are in, if you guys can just help me, and then you can just rise. I have also seen, thank you very much, comrade. I've also seen Comrade Shifeta. I've also seen him here, somewhere here. That's the leadership that brought SWAPO Youth League. Okay. Thank you very much, comrade. I'm just doing this so that at least we know where we came from. And I think in the due course of this week, when we are talking about the 21st General Assembly of WUFDI, many young people are coming to us asking, what is WUFDI? What is WUFDI? How can I join WUFDI? So, comrades, you have seen those legends that they have just stood up a while ago. You can also extend the same question that you forwarded me to them. I know they will explain it even better than I. So, moving on our program, next we have a message by our President of WUFDI, Mr. Sergio Ruiz.
President of the Republic of Namibia, honorable representatives of the SWAPO Party, dear comrades of the SWAPO Party Youth League, distinguished delegates and guests, friends, it is an honor to speak on this land of resilience and dignity in this city of Windhoek, which welcomes us today with open arms for the opening of the 21st General Assembly. Allow me first to express our deepest gratitude to the SWAPO Party for your generous hospitality and your tireless commitment to the ideals of freedom, justice, and unity among peoples. Your history, shaped by the struggle for independence and the building of a democratic nation, remains a guiding light for those of us who believe another world is possible. We also wish to warmly salute the youth of the SWAPO Party. Your energy, critical awareness, and steadfast commitment to the future of Namibia and of Africa are a statement to the transformative power of organized youth. You represent not only the future, but also the present of our struggles and our hopes. And of course, we want to pay tribute to President Netumbo Nade. Right. Your leadership, both in your country and internationally, is a source of inspiration for all of us working for a more just, more equal, and a freer world. Thank you, Madam President, for your presence and your examples and your support for this assembly. This 21st General Assembly is more than a meeting. It is a space for encounter between sister peoples, an opportunity to reaffirm our bonds of solidarity, to reflect collectively on the challenges we face, and to build shared response together. From our different corners of the world, we share a common history of struggle against oppression and exclusion. And today, in the face of the present-day challenges, colonialism, climate crisis, growing inequality, we know that only through unity, mutual respect, and international cooperation, we can move forward more just and human society. Thank you once again for welcoming us. Thank you for opening your home, your history, and your hope to us. Thank you very much.
To Namibia, the land of the brave. It is our hope that your conference will be successful in Namibia. During the briefing, I was informed that currently 3 organizations in Namibia are affiliated to WUFDI. And this is the SWAPO Youth League, NAMSO, and NECA. When it's referring to NAMSO, I'm happy we are mentioning this in the presence of one of the former president and leader of NAMSO, Comrade Pohamba Shifeta. And I think this is very important for us to recognize. Director of Ceremonies, the World Federation of Democratic Youth is an international youth movement that has historically known and worked as a left-wing and anti-imperialist, as it's what already mentioned here. Established in 1945 from the ashes of the Second World War. And the aim was to bring the young people of the world together to fight for peace and to advocate for social justice and democratic principles. It further advocates for unifying the young people from the alliance behind the anti-fascism and anti-nuclear war. And that is why the motto of WUFDI is very clear. Youth united, forward for lasting peace. And peace is underlined being the prerequisite for development. This assembly's motto, united against imperialism, for the right of the youth to build a world of social justice and equality, again is talking to the motto of this internationalist organization. The 21st General Assembly taking place in Namibia is not by accident. The history of WUFDI and the people of Namibia has dated back to 1974, when the SWAPO Youth League, under the leadership of Comrade Homateni Karenya, joined this organization. It was found necessary to join WUFDI after SWAPO has received so many young people who joined the struggle for independence in exile from home. Then it was found necessary by the SWAPO leadership that we should join this organization in order to enable our young people also to play their part in the anti-imperialist revolution. As mentioned, I'm honored to have been among those young people who left the country 74 and having seen the SWAPO Youth League joining this organization. and having participated in some of their conference at that time. It was during that time that we had to learn a lot and to be shaped in order to make a meaningful contribution to the liberation of our country and to cement solidarity among progressive forces. A lesson that I cherish throughout my life. As you might know, the SWAPO party has always been supported by three powerful pillars in our struggle, namely the youth, the workers, and the women. And that is why the SWAPO Women Council is also a member of the Women's International Democratic Federation, a sister organization that was also formed in 1944 after the Second World War. We are therefore delighted to host member organization of this revolutionary association of ours as you are meeting here in your 21st General Assembly. Looking at the history of this organization and considering the faster changing geopolitics in the world, we believe and convinced that this assembly is very critical and needs to look into this situation to come up with practical solutions that will defend and protect the segment of the societies this organization represented over the years. Dear delegates, Namibia holds dear the values of multilateralism and international cooperation for the benefit of humanity. And that is what makes us to be part and parcel of this organization. Because with the rise of unilateralism, approach to the multilateralism, that will require the reevaluation so that we will maintain a cohesion international system. Multilateralism is under threat. And when multilateralism is under threat, the weak, particularly we in the global south, we are becoming vulnerable. Hence the need for our young people to step in and to mobilize one another in order to defend the multilateralism that is to embrace all citizens of the world. Recently, Namibia co-chaired together with Germany what we call the Summit for the Future. The peg for the Summit for the Future has been agreed upon. And one of the issues underlying in the peg for the future is the maintenance of peace. And this is one element that this organization stands for. And that's why I'm calling on the members of this organization to make a critical analysis of the peg for the future and to identify the elements that will help them as we are uniting the people of the world to make sure that peace and social justice is maintained at all times. We hold to the conviction that freedom denies to one is freedom denies to all. And for us in Namibia and in SWAPO party, as the ruling party in this country, we believe in self-determination. And that's why we will keep supporting the people who are fighting for self-determination, with particular reference to the people of Palestine and the people of Western Sahara. And all Namibians from all walks of life, they are familiar and they are in agreement with this policy of ours. We also respect sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries of the world. And that's why we'll continue to demand the lifting of sanctions against Cuba, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe. It is unfortunate that in the 21st century, we are witnessing the loss of so many lives. Namibia, as it was mentioned by our interim chair of the National Youth Council, the wounds we suffered from the Imperial Germany genocide are still fresh. And it's more painful than we are seeing genocide being committed against the people of Palestine, while the international community seems to be hopeless. But we know that the people's spirit will never be defeated. One day, the people of Palestine will find themselves free and independent in their own country. Director of Ceremonies, time must come when the young people of the world again regroup in a more forceful manner to stand up and unite against injustice perpetuated in some parts of the world. No doubt there's something wrong in the international political order that needs to be addressed. As young people, we were told by our adults, we have nothing to lose when we are fighting for a just a cause. What is in for us is just to win. And we are a living testimony. During our struggle, we have to face the power of the apartheid South African regime. We were never scared to confront them by talking and try to make them understand that we are human beings. They tried their best, throw us in prison, tortured us, but we maintain steadfast because we know we are fighting for a just cause. So therefore, the young people of the world, you are fighting for a just cause to ensure that there is peace and stability in the world, and you should not give up. Dear delegates, on the economic front, we are now facing economic war. The economic war has started in full force, where the weaker and the small countries, again, particularly us, the global south, might suffer the economic insult if we are not united, and if the international solidarity that has carried us during our struggle for political independence is let to go. When SWAPO was formed 5 years ago, it was a movement led by young Namibians. The Semanuyomas were very young at the time. All of them basically were very young. But they had a full mandate to unite all Namibians and cultivate a spirit of nationalism within them in order to fight the common enemy, the colonizer, as united people. Therefore, the young people of the world, you unite so that you can fight the common enemy, and that is a threat to international peace and social justice. It is your responsibility to face those challenges because they have direct impact on yourself. Of course, the economic war needs a different approach, whereby young people can make use of their skill and knowledge to play a significant role in the economies of their countries and the economy of the world. In doing so, The youth will be part of the solution to the challenges faced today, including unemployment that is affecting the young people. The world requires more programmatic trade and investment instruments to bring about a balanced, sustainable world economic order. Dear delegates, with increased demand of critical mineral resources, most of which is found in the global south, as young people, you should not be fence-sitters. Young people of the world must therefore demand and fight for a fair international trade to drive economic development and growth, for social transformation for all citizens of the world. Against this background, it's vital and commendable for the young people of the world to get involved also in the political, economic discussions in order for us to have a just program. And the WUFD cannot just confine now to its political mobilization, but should all start to demand for fair trade among nations, so that the young people and the people of the world can benefit. That is very critical, as we can see that the world trade instruments are under threat. And should that be allowed, it could be a disaster to the future generation. Dear delegates, I am also informed that during this session, you are going to elect your leaders. But I want to say, election must not be the primary objective of this General Assembly, but rather discuss around global issues and passing resolutions and decisions to shape a better world where no nation is oppressed and marginalized. Dear delegates, in Namibia, our development under the age administration that I have the honor to lead as the 5th president of the Republic of Namibia, when I took office on the 21st March this year, will be carried out under the theme, and I quote, unity in diversity, natural resources beneficiation, for youth empowerment, for sustainable development. This theme is directing us to make use of our natural resources through value addition in order to grow our economy, create the necessary jobs, and take our people out of poverty. At the same time, the central part of this theme is the care and protection of our youth. Hence, youth empowerment being underlined here. And that is why an association like WUFD, you could work with the Namibian youth in order to be with us as we are implementing this theme of ours in the next 5 years or 4.5 years. The theme also reminds us that we will only be successful if we are united. And this is what your association has been advocating for many years. Dear delegates, Namibia is part of the global village, and we cannot develop or transform our economy in isolation. Therefore, our country is open for business, and both local and foreign investors are welcome on the condition that Namibians' laws and policies and procedures must be followed. And definitely, we would want to see young innovators, young entrepreneurs to take a lead in our developmental agenda. Director of Ceremonies, we are preparing to observe Africa Day on Sunday, I must say you have chosen the right time for your assembly here, because you are simply going now to be with us as we are celebrating this important day in the history of our continent. A day when African leaders, they met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and decided to set up an organization that will guide the African developmental agenda through the Organization of African Unity, which is now called the African Union. Allow me therefore to quote one of the African leaders, and this is President Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of Kenya, when he says, and I quote, "Our children might learn about heroes of the past. Our task is to make ourselves architects of the future," end of the quote. So we are the children of our forefathers. We are here to learn about the heroes of the past. But our task is to make ourselves architecture for the future. Because the future, we are preparing it for the generations to come. So there is a consensus that Africa is the youngest continent in the world, and is therefore befitting to call on our young leaders, thinkers, innovators, entrepreneurs, and philosophers to emulate the spirit of the African founding fathers by learning from the past, so that they can become architects of the future for Africa, the continent, and of course, the future for the world. Today's African youth must establish themselves as watchmen who guard the doors that open the pathway towards the future prosperity and the greatness of the continent. Agenda 2063, which encompasses our continental aspiration for socio-economic transformation, will mainly be driven by you, the young people, both on the continent and in the diaspora. And in the same way, the young people of the world who came to our aid during our political struggle should be the same way they will come to the aid of the African youth during this economic struggle. Dear delegates, it is now my honor and privilege to once again welcome you to Namibia, and also to give a word to the new leadership that are going to be elected during this time. That you must lead with honesty, with integrity. You must be a good example to your colleagues who are going to give you those responsibilities. The World Federation of Democratic Youth need really to go to the drawing board, so that you see how you can make an impact in this world of geopolitics, in order for you not to lose the initial idea of the formation of the organization, that is the maintenance of peace, solidarity, and to make sure that we all live in a peaceful world. It's now my honor and privilege to declare this 21st General Assembly officially opened, and please find the time